Hello YouTube. This is going to be a video on a number of things, and it's going to be on ultimately Shane Dawson, and it's not going to be about him so much as it's going to be about basically just everything wrong currently with what I consider kind of the upper class academia based ethics and attempt at moralizing the country by ultimately what I see as being largely inconsistent, hypocritical, out of touch, out of date, elitist, and based in upper class academia and the various colleges and things and so forth. And how I see a lot of this as being conducive of the Democratic Party, and it's the same damn party as the party of the Klan. And that's not to say that the Democrats currently speaking is in what they're doing now isn't necessarily better than the Republicans, because I have a lot of dislike for the Republicans, and that's mostly what I talk about. But without question, this social justice that is this vague concept, and this kind of political correctness and anti-Semitism and pushing of ethics and bashing people if they have agendas, they distract from real issues. And the ultimate solution always becomes, hey, let's give more power and more control over our lives to not only the government, but to the same elitists that are ultimately, in many cases, conservative, who run and control these universities and who work in Hollywood, Madison Avenue, and so on and so forth. And they want to basically create a very structured, limited culture, and it's a repressive culture where everything and all people's opinions are pre-approved for them, and you have a limiting population of people that have been brain dead and kind of basically just what's the word I'm looking for? This brain dead fucking population of people that have been sedated through TV and through various gadgets and devices and iPhones, and even kids. I've even seen kids get mad at their parents because, oh, I wanted this color iPhone. Like, it makes a fucking difference. And you have this brain dead population, and that's how they took something like Black Lives Matter, that as of a month ago was about the killing of George Floyd, and was supposed to be about reforming police abuse, reforming police policies, and ending things wrong with the police, and thinking about and talking about what led to the killing of this unarmed black man. And it's went from that to statues that a South Carolinian, that the Republican, I believe, governor of South Carolina introduced. He was the first one to bring up the fucking statues, and then it started becoming about more statues, and then it was about a flag, and everyone's, in Stone Cold even talking about he hates the Confederate flag, and yet he used to wear one on TV for 20 years. And on and on and on it goes. And I'm talking about this. I'm talking about you're getting off the point. And that was the point of doing this, was to distract you from the actual issue of police brutality and doing something about that. And meanwhile, it went from that, as this happens, it goes from that to now cartoons. Then it becomes about cartoons. And what fucking voice actors should talk for what cartoon, and only black voice actors should talk for black cartoons. But I guess it's okay for black voice actors to talk for white cartoons. I mean, that's not racist at all. No. And again, not that I care, but what the fuck is the difference? And it's become about that again. It's become about anything and every damn thing but the goddamn original issue of fucking police abuse, and these white cops choking black men to death. So they stopped talking about that, and nothing was done about any of that. By the way, not a damn thing was done about it. And now it's fucking, except for I think Trump sent a strongly worded letter of condemnation, suggesting that police use chokeholds less often. Not any bill that was put through Congress or Senate, not any law, not really even an executive order, though they might have called it that. Simply a condemnation of excessive use of chokeholds. It could mean anything. And what does that mean? Unless your life is somehow endangered. Because if a criminal is trying to stab you, and you're close enough, you can put a chokehold on him. I mean, that'll help you. That's not at all a pointless cop out on the part of Trump, because he didn't know how else to handle this issue, and he didn't want to offend the cops. Because if you're choking someone, your life isn't in danger. If that was the case, they would tase them, or they would have shot them from a mile away. You're not going to goddamn fucking choke them at the last damn moment where they're right next to you. That's stupid. But anyways, so it went from all of that to now it's about fucking YouTubers and Shane Dawson, and I get her last name wrong, but the Trisha girl, whatever her name is, the blonde girl, the big tits, and Shane Dawson, and the other dude, Jeffree Star, who, by the way, was probably one of the first, well, actually, probably one of the first people to apologize for past racist statements he had made, and was a supporter of Black Lives Matter, supported the Black Lives Matter cause, and while accepting Jinder Mahal apology, whatever she is and whatever she does, I don't give a fuck. You have attacked Shane Dawson, who, by the way, not that, well, him too, but Jeffree Star, who, by the way, is a not only bisexual, but is basically genderqueer, or at the very least androgynous, and is one of a few, really not many androgynous role models and our icons in American culture right now that I consider a positive thing. And again, what do any of these people have in common? They're all social media personalities that basically were politically incorrect, by the way, who largely had nothing to do with anything that the original issues with Black Lives Matter having to do mostly with systematic racism in the police or whatever the fuck. They had nothing to do with that. They're not responsible for police shooting someone, and you've now made it about them. Now, before getting into Shane Dawson's issue and what he did and what he didn't do, whether or not it's right or wrong, and of course, I don't support him doing it. I thought it was creepy, but it was like 9 years ago, but whatever. Before getting into that, I'm going to first talk about basically another issue, and also ultimately about why the Democratic Party is bullshit, and why the left wing, the populist left in America, for lack of a better word, as the Amazing Atheist talked about, needs to break off. And why I'm not, by the way, I'm not against working with some right-wingers about some issues to further advance our cause and the left-wing cause, and of course oppose them about other ones. But this bullshit with the Democratic Party is ridiculous and absurd, and they turn to everything they touch, they turn to shit. And they're just using it to flex their might and beat you over the head with an agenda, so that now they can control who talks for your damn cartoons, what fucking statues you can put up, everything and every damn thing you do, who you get to see on YouTube, what jokes you get to make, what jokes you get to hear, and everything else about you. And it has done nothing to end police brutality, and they have done nothing to end police brutality. They haven't defunded the police. They haven't stopped chokeholds. They haven't done anything to really stop police killing people. They haven't stopped police discrimination against the black people. They haven't stopped a goddamn thing. Prisons are still private ran, by the way, and that's one thing they really don't want to talk about. They'd rather talk about cops or any damn thing but that, because it's a fucking private run system, basically the prison industrial complex, and they're throwing goddamn people in prison for far longer than they should be, so corporations can continue to build fucking prisons and make money off the imprisonment of largely nonviolent criminals, by giving them many, many years longer sentences than what they deserve, if they deserve any, and by making more stupid laws to put more people in jail for longer. And they're making money while the taxpayers still carry the damn bill to build the fucking prisons, because it's considered a essential service that we have for these prisons. So they're basically just profiting off something they're not spending money on, so it's a win-win for them. And meanwhile, the American people, black and white for that matter, get thrown in fucking prison. But anyways, I also want to talk about something else on humanist philosophies, by the way, and I should have poured my fucking account, my Twitter page or Twitter blog at the beginning, but humanist philosophies, again, I did a video last time linking you to it. If you want to know some of my ideas and thoughts about things, you can go watch that, but also we'll read my stuff, and I tried to click links, and this site kept glitching, and some of the links I don't think worked from yesterday, so, but the point is, I also post vampire stuff, wrestling, everything else. And I guess I'll start with this. Stephanie, I'm not going to say this for much longer, we'll talk about this long because it's not important, but Stephanie McMahon of WWE, of course, is still trying to whore, because this was her entire fucking ideal to begin with, and she was the one behind this, and you know she was. But she's still trying to whore the entire gender equality thing. And she's on some show talking about the sooner we have gender equality, the better for everyone. Well, first of all, what is your definition of equality? Because that has become a very vague fucking concept at this point. And as I have talked about in the past on YouTube or on Twitter, and I believe on this site too, and I think I've made videos, WWE gave Becky Lynch the main event of WrestleMania, not last year, but the year before, or not the last Mania, but the year before, against Ronda Rousey in Charlotte, a pinfall victory, both titles. And she's the top earning woman in the company. You have had women main event many different Raws and many different pay-per-views. Okay, and you have put a rocket ship up their ass, and you have not shut up about fucking women's revolution for goddamn almost a decade, and you gave them a goddamn pay-per-view all to themselves. You didn't do that for men, except for that abomination of Saudi Arabia. And you have done that. Okay, so you have done all of that. And then you have the woman slap the damn man while they stand there like an idiot. You did that for a damn decade. And damn, and then even 8 years ago, you rang Paige up to the main roster at 21 years old after she was already on the top of the damn main event in NXT. She comes to WWE, she wins the damn women's title on her first damn night in the company. She wasn't but 21 years old. And to put that into perspective, while I agree and I understand the women's title back then was not main event, that would be like having someone come up at 21 years old or in their early 20s and winning the Intercontinental title on their first night on the main show. And she won the women's title on the first night on the show. And you're saying that, and then they say you kept her back, you kept her down. And then they would, like, even this video on the site that I do like called Grunge, because I actually like grunge music, but that's not all they do. But they were a wrestling video about, well, this alternative rock chick, and they put her over and promoted her. And it's like, Lita, China wasn't exactly alternative rock, that she was a lot different and a lot less supermodel-like than even Paige. She won men's titles. She beat Jericho for the IC title. Lita, I mean, there's a bunch of them I can go into, but those are the primary two I can think of right now, because I just don't feel like it. Let's see, Paige, Lita, and there was the other one. Who's the other chick I was thinking about? And my brain fucked itself. The point is, there were other chicks, and you go back years ago, and again, she won the title on her first night in Raw, and she was 21 years old. I don't think they did anything to hold her back, so this isn't new. You can try to rewrite history, put whatever spin on the situation all you want. They didn't do a damn thing to hold her back, that's for damn sure. Oh yeah, Shelly Martinez was Ariel. She played a vampire character. She was a supermodel, she was really hot, but so was Lita, and Paige isn't bad looking. And then you had fucking Daphne in WCW and TNA. So she's by no means new. This isn't new. She's not a new phenomenon. But you can put any spin on you, whatever you want, to try to paint things however you want. The bottom line is women have not been oppressed in the wrestling industry. They just fucking haven't. So beyond that, let's see what else. Fuck this. Oh yeah, but anyway, Becky Lynch, again, $1 million in the bank, over $1 million a year. 2 different damn titles, has the women's title, main evented at WrestleMania, beat the world's one of the biggest, not only women's UFC fighters, but next to Conor McGregor, the biggest UFC fighter in the world. And is your women's champion. She takes 13 minutes off with paid leave to fucking have a kid while she holds the title and just gives it up. Just gives the title up. Right? So you're going to now say, well, she's oppressed and held back. Again, no one made her take 13 months off to have a kid. She chose to do that. Then you have in TNA, not to have a kid, but for whatever reason, supposedly the coronavirus, I don't know if that's true, and that's something else they're trying to do, is cover that shit up, because a bunch of people got the coronavirus because they want social distancing. So now they're going to bring out the feminists, goddamn, roll out the feminist bandwagon to goddamn take all the attention off the negative shit they did, like they always do, with a bunch of fake, charitable shit and crap that they don't really give a fuck about, like they do and they have done. But then you've got that one chick, Blanchard, Tessa Blanchard, or whatever her name was in TNA, and she is the men's champion, the world champion, gave the women world title to her, and she basically said, fuck it, calls out, will not fucking show up for tapings, won't send in tapings, won't do any tapings with them, won't videotape anything in the back, and then when they need her to come there to do an event, she goes off the entire thing, it doesn't come, and they end up firing her. So the point of all this is, you don't call that an opportunity? That's more of an opportunity than a lot of the men are getting. So how in the hell are you holding the women back again? I mean, I would like to understand that. What more could you possibly do to give them an advantage that they don't already have? When you're hiring them 8 years ago, we're talking 10 fucking years ago, at fucking 21 years of freaking age, to win the women's title. Okay, Anyways, I'm going to go do some things and get my shit together, think about what I'm going to say. I want to continue it from here. And I'll think about what I'm going to say because I want to keep it from here. But the point is, what more could you do? I would say you would give an opportunity. Fucking things fucking up. Okay, you get the point. B666. I'll be back.